success isn't built overnight. Okay. And it sometimes isn't built in the next 12 months either. So don't think of that as, oh my God, I can only fit into here what I can do in the next 12 months, because I'm giving you permission right now to set a big vision, set a big goal, right? Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the other 99%, every seller matters. Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I'm here with our co-host, Susan Larimer, and we are carrying on that conversation and continuing with basically getting your business ready for next year. On today's episode, we want to focus a little bit about your mission, your vision, and your focus for 2026. And we find that this is a big thing where people they focus too much about what they want to accomplish in 2026, but don't actually sit there and plan it out properly. And then what happens is, a few months into the year, and then you have like no motivation to keep going because you weren't really clear on what you want it to do. So in this episode, we're going to give you a couple little tips and a couple questions to ask yourself so that your 2026 could be the best year yet. I mean, wouldn't we all like that?
That would be amazing. And we were talking earlier before the episode started, before we started recording. We feel like this is kind of like a three-part series. So
Hmm.
last week, think of that as part one, where we talked about reflect, release, and restart, which we think we might change that word to
Yeah, I think
refresh.
so
So
too.
reflect, release, refresh. And then today we're going to talk about mission, vision, your word, kind of a focus for the year. And then next week, you're going to have to make sure that you have a planner. Lisa has an amazing download PDF that you can grab. But that's when we're going to kind of map out your actual calendar. But today, as we were talking, we were like, the mission and the vision and the word helps you to filter and narrow down and create boundaries in your business so that you're not
Hmm.
saying yes to everything. An opportunity may come up and you're going to be like, does this fit into my mission? And if it doesn't, then feel free to say, not this year. I'm not going to do that. So we hope this gives you some freedom, some clarity, and I think it's going to be fun too. We're going to walk you through an exercise and we're going to have a worksheet for you too that you can snag at the end. So,
Yeah.
where should we start, Lisa?
Well, I think for those of you who might have listened to the last episode and for those of you who might not have, let's just start by taking a peek at what you need to do about looking back to look ahead. So, the main thing is we want you to write down things that maybe worked in your business last year. What maybe didn't work in your business last year. And the biggest thing I want to make sure that you guys do is focus on what made you feel great about what you did last year, right? Because we all know, and I'm sure you could agree, Susan, that there's some things that you just do and you walk away and say, "Oh, I'm so happy that's done."
Yeah, I never want to do that again.
And those are exactly the things that you're going to put on your list that, what didn't work and what we're not moving forward into 2026. So I don't think that you could really set your mission and your vision and your focus for 2026 without reflecting on, the past and your successes and your failures. And I hate to use the word failures, but you know what I mean? What didn't work in your business, so that you could really move forward and think with your business in mind, okay, this is the clear focus that I have for 2026 and how I want my business to grow. And we all know, like, direct sales is completely different now. So it might be something like, oh gosh, like I just cringed every time I had to do a Facebook party. Well, then
Yeah,
that's not your thing, and Facebook parties just
let it
won't make it
go.
on your list in 2026, and that is totally okay, right?
Yeah. So, three simple questions that we have. The first one is, what worked really well in my business last year?
Mhm.
Another question, what felt heavy, stressful, or forced? Those are the
Yeah,
things we're going to let go for this year. And then the last one, what gave me energy or joy? Like Lisa said, what felt really good? That's what you want to do more of in 2026.
for sure. All right, so let's jump in, because I know when I first heard this word mission statement, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what is my mission statement? And then the more and more I dug into it, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, now I know exactly what it means, but how do I write it? And for those of you for those of you who know me, I love me a good ChatGPT. So I just tossed in some things into ChatGPT, and I'm going to read you the mission statement. And keep in mind, I'm reading this, so it's going to be sound forced. But this is the mission statement that I have for my training side of my business. So my mission is simple. I'm here to empower direct sellers and small business owners to step into their potential with confidence and a positive mindset, to help you take bold leaps, embrace personal growth, and believe in the courage to try, while helping create systems and learn digital tools that actually make your business easier to run. So my whole mission is to make people feel empowered by using the systems and the tools that work for them and help their business become easy, the easy button. I like to say, like, the best thing that I see is when I'm helping somebody do something in their business, and you see that aha, that light bulb moment like go off, and you can see it in their eyes, and they're like, that finally clicked. That is what I'm all about, right?
Yeah. And when you hear your mission statement, you know exactly what you're about. No one's going to say, "Hey Lisa, I think you should do a vendor event."
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with your business. So if
Yeah.
someone invites Lisa to do a vendor event, she's gonna be like, "No, that is not in my
It's
mission. It's
so
not what I'm
funny.
about."
Yeah, that's so funny because I had a couple people reach out to me once they knew Epicure was back in business, and I'm like, yeah, that's just not how I run my business right now. So it's like,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
so easy to say
It's
that.
freeing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
So what
I
about
have one for, yeah, for 2026. I think we're going to get to my word in a little bit, but my word is going to be connect. So my mission statement this year, a lot shorter than Lisa's, which is fine. It can be
Eh,
long, it can be
I was
short,
just gonna
whatever.
say, mine is probably a little longer than most people would want their mission statement. But mine is displayed front page on my website. So that's why my mission statement is more in depth. But a true mission statement is probably going to be a short, simple sentence. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one I came up with for 2026, this year I want to connect more with my local community in a way that prioritizes relationships. So if someone says, "Hey, do you want to do a farmers market?" Yes, please. Like that is what I'm focusing on. Local
Mm-hmm.
events, local fundraisers, local give backs, getting people together is what I want for 2026. So mine was super short, but still pretty clear in what I
Yeah.
want.
And I love yours, Susan, because it's very clear on who you want to help, which is one thing that you want to include in your mission statement. And it's very clear on how you want to show up in your business.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
that Susan's is some and mission statement that you probably will want to focus your mission statement on. Mine is, if you've been playing with mission statements for the past few years, because I know some of our listeners have, mine might be something where is your next level. Right. So I love that we're coming at it from both sides. Approach it with somebody who is new to mission statements or somebody who's been using them for years. So it's
Yeah, and
great.
use ChatGPT, like Lisa said. Maybe say, okay, ChatGPT, like this is what I want to accomplish this year. This is the audience I'm serving. These are the way I want to do my business, and then say, hey, can you come up with a short, mission statement or a long mission statement, whatever, and let them create a couple and then read them and see what feels really right for you. But yeah, we
Yeah.
love ChatGPT.
And I love if you're looking for something super simple, here's like an example of a format that you can use. It could say something like, "This year, my mission is to help," and then insert who you want to help, by, and insert how you're going to help them in a way that feels, and then makes me feel energized, makes me feel happy, or something like insert the feeling that you want in that section there. So I like that for just a simple format. If you're, like I said, very new to the mission statement, everybody starts somewhere. And if you asked people who've been in business using mission statements for years, theirs might even be more advanced than mine is, right? It's like, so you just make sure you're clear on who you want to help and how you want to help.
Yeah, and there's another example too, very cut, blank, fill in the blanks. I am building a business that prioritizes blank over blank. So, and look at other companies. Every company has a mission statement. So do a little Google search and say, okay, what is the mission statement for this company that I really love and support? And just look through different mission statements. Every church has a mission statement. So look through them and, pick out ideas and things you like and things you don't like. And pretty soon you'll have the perfect mission statement for your business.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is vision. Now, just going to be honest, and this always gets me because
Me
I
too.
I'm the type of person, it's like, "Oh, I know what I want, but putting it on paper is so hard," because that fear of failure and the fear of not meeting your goals and all that stuff. But thinking about, to make this easy, think about what you want your business to look like on December 31st, 2026. Okay? Um, it's kind of hard to sit there and envision that, but if you can put yourself in the pitch in the position of that business owner, it's going to help you so much while you're working your business over the year. Think about, oh, what kind of, and it doesn't always have to be money, but money makes the world go round. So I'm all about thinking about the money. Like, what's the extra money going to be doing for you? What is the growth in your business going to be? How is it going to make you feel? What's it going to look like when your team is that much bigger? All these little things, like, just put that into your vision of what you want to look like at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, it is hard to come up with, like, mission is easy, but the vision, so sometimes I think of it like you said, like, okay, December 31st, I want to be able to say, this year I served my local community through events and fundraisers. I met, 50 new people. I got connected into new groups. It felt authentic. It was rewarding. My business grew, my customers grew. So think of what you want to be able to say December 31st, 2026. It's over a year away.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, it's exactly a year. And, what do you want your year to have looked like? So that's kind of how I think of my vision. I don't know. It is harder though,
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
is, it
But use
is.
Chat GPT again to help you
Yeah.
with that vision. But it's kind of a prediction. Like this is what I want to be able to say a year from now.
And the thing to keep in mind, this doesn't have to be big and flashy. It just needs to be what your vision looks like. And you know what? If your vision looks like, I've added an extra 10 customers to my customer list in 2026, that's perfect. That is totally perfect. This aligns with you and your business. It doesn't align with anyone else's goals. And that's what I want you to keep in mind, because as soon as you start setting a vision for your business that doesn't align with what you yourself want, that's
Yeah.
when the feeling of failure is going to hit you on December 31st, 2026, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. No.
No.
Okay, are
Ye
we ready for the word?
I think so. I haven't
All
thought of
right.
mine yet, and I need to get going, but yeah.
I know. So yeah, so many of you, I'm sure, have had a word of the year. A word, again, that kind of guides you through the year, that you filter things through. Maybe it's a goal you have. It's funny, my husband, he's a pastor, and yesterday his message was about his word. His word was rest. My husband sleeps like 4 hours a night, and it's not enough
Mhm,
sleep. His mind is constantly going. So his word was rest. And it wasn't until November, like the middle of November, when things just kind of clicked for him and he started getting 9 hours of sleep. And he remembered his word,
mhm.
rest. So it came at like almost the 11th hour, the 11th month, but he remembered his word. So when you're thinking of your word, you want to make sure that it is visible all year long. Don't
Mhm,
just make a word and then forget about it. Make sure you really think about, reflect on a word that's going to carry you through the year, and then use that word to create boundaries, to accomplish your goals, and to carry you through the year. So, do you usually do a word, Lisa?
Did I do, and my word for 2025 was simply "no." And when I
Mm,
told people, they were like, "Oh, well, what's that mean?" And it's like, no, it just gives me permission to say no to something that is not gonna actually move my business towards my goal. And I was notorious for being the yes girl. If somebody asked me to do something, I would be okay or yes, I'll do that. And deep down inside, I'm like, oh my God, now I have to actually do that. I don't want to do that. It's not gonna, it doesn't. But I would say yes just because I wouldn't want to disappoint the person. So in 2025, I gave myself permission to say no. And it was the most freeing thing that I did.
nice.
And yeah, and honestly, I feel like I've seen myself, even though Epicure shut down in 2026 at the beginning, I see this as my biggest year for personal growth and business growth that I have in the last 20 years. So that is kind of
Yeah,
exciting for me.
that's a
Yeah.
good word. Two
Yeah.
letters, so powerful.
And it was easy to remember because I remember years before where I would pick a word and then I would halfway through the year and I'm like, what was my word again? And it's I have to go find where
Yeah,
I had it written down. And
yeah,
that tells you that your word does not align with you. It does not
yeah,
align with your mission, your vision. If you cannot remember your word in March, then maybe it's time to say, okay, that wasn't the word of my year. I'm going to pick a new one because it doesn't mean that you pick one and you have to stick with it for the whole year. If it doesn't work for you anymore, come some point in the year, just pick another one and carry on, you know?
yeah, yeah. There are no rules, no
No,
rules to this.
no, not at all.
So last year, my word was together.
Hmm.
And it's funny because this year kind of it's like level 2 of that. Last year was together, this year is connect. So still that getting people together, small groups, big groups, relationships, or maybe I should make it relationship. I don't know. I'm still working on it. But my one of our leaders in Lemongrass, she creates washers for us. She
I
asks us
love
what
that.
our word is, and she engraves it onto a washer. So I have, 5 years worth of words, and I keep them on a chain. And it's just such a great reminder. I could put it on a keychain or whatever, but I love that she does that because you forget. I mean, who do you know what your word was 5 years ago? Oh, nobody does.
No, that's great.
Um, yeah. So some things you should think about when you're thinking about your word. Some questions that we have. What are some words that you're drawn to? Like I love words that have to do with relationships, connecting, community, together. Those are words that I'm always drawn to. What are some words that feel right for you this year? So when you're saying a word and you kind of get like an icky feeling, that's not your word. You want
Hmm.
words that feel really good. And then
Yeah.
things that are important to you. That doesn't usually change. Things that are important to you, your core beliefs kind of stay with you throughout your life. So think about maybe your core beliefs, words that are going to stay with you year after year.
Yeah.
Any other advice on words, Lisa?
I mean, we can to pick a word, you could always look at something that you tend to overdo or avoid. So for example, my no, I tended to say yes too often. So I felt that saying my making my word no was setting my boundaries, right? Because that's where we started talking about. So um that could be a great thing to look at. Choose a word that maybe brings brings happiness to you almost. Like, it's like when you think about it, it's like, yeah, that's really me, that makes me feel good. And like a couple examples, and I hate giving examples because I find that they people almost say, "Oh, that's a word, that's my word," because they like the sound of it. But I really
Yeah.
want you to sit on that word for a bit and think about how it fits into your business. But a few examples could be something like focus, consistent, simplify, serve, steady, bold, rooted, or like Susan, connection or community. There's things like that. Think about what your word is, and then in your head, and you don't really need to have this written out somewhere, but make sure that you know why that word. Like, how is that relating to your business, your growth, your vision, your mission, and making sure it fits for you, right? Because I always go back to the word no. When many people heard me say that my word was no, they're like, "Oh, okay, like, you're not doing any." No, 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 that's not what my word means to me, right? My
Yeah.
word to me means that I'm just allowing myself to say no without that feeling of guilt, right? So make sure that you know why you've picked that word. It doesn't matter if everybody else understands it. It could be supercalifragilistic. I can't even say it, but it could be that.
Pick a word you can say.
And it's like, you might want to, and people will say, why? It's like, I don't know, just because I think, I want my
Right.
business to be fun. I want my business to be,
Yeah.
entertaining. I want it to make me laugh every time I think of it.
I don't know if that
So
would fit on my washer. I won't do that to my friend.
see, just joke with her. Just say, okay, this is my word. And she'll be like, what?
I'll get a
Right?
big washer. But yeah, it's important
Yeah.
to try on words. Like you try on some jeans. Do they feel good? Can you move around? Are they helpful? Are they, what? Try some words on and maybe sit on it for a day or two or a couple of hours or a week and until you find that perfect word. And then make sure you put it someplace that's visible all year. We talked about that. Maybe make a screensaver and
Mm-hmm.
so that it's on your phone all year. Maybe put it as wallpaper on your computer screen. Put it on a post-it note like at your desk, someplace that you go every day, and make sure that you see it every day, and make sure your word fits in with your mission and vision. Those three things need to align in order for it to direct your business throughout the year.
Yeah.
So make sure they complement each other.
Yeah, exactly. Now, my word, I actually have, you probably can't see it, but on my screensaver on my phone, I have my vision board, and I actually have a template
Mm,
for that on my website. So if you want the Canva template for the vision board for your phone, head over to my website and grab it in the freebies. But that has my word smack dab in the center, right? And I see it every time, like, because what is one thing that I have in my hand or at my side 24/7? It's
yeah,
my phone. So that's where my
yeah,
vision board lives, is on my phone screen, because it reminds me every time I pick it up, why am I doing what I'm doing? And reinforces that word is there to help me move forward. So that, I love that Susan said you can make sure it's written down and make sure it's front and center. Like I said, in the past, I've had it hidden in an agenda or something, or written in a notebook. And then the March comes around and I'm like, what was my word again? And I'd have to dig it out. Like that wasn't a word that was really working for me at the time, right?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. We might have to do a part 4 on vision boards.
Yeah,
That
maybe.
would be fun too. Walk everyone through a vision board and what that means and how to I like that visual.
Yeah. We've been thinking about other things to do come in 2026 for the podcast. So you might see some new and exciting things that Susan and I might be, launching, or we were talking
Yeah,
about maybe doing more live recordings, and we'll just see how it goes because I don't know, we have a lot of big goals for the podcast in
I know.
2026. It's kind of
We
exciting
do. We need to create a mission and a vision
for the
for
podcast.
the other 99%.
Yeah.
We need to work on that. That's our homework.
All right.
We have the worksheet for you. Um, so we're going to put that in the description. But some things we want you to do. We're going to give you some homework. So, first of all, we want you to come up with a mission statement, a single sentence that explains the goals and the purpose and you in your business. We want you to choose a word. We want you to come up with a vision and make sure those three things align and feel really good for you. And then we would love for you to share it with us. We would
Mm-hmm.
love that. But definitely share it with a friend, share it with someone. And maybe you can, have accountability partners and have each other come up with a mission, a vision, and a word and just kind of bounce ideas off of each other and then really come together and say, okay, this is what I came up with. This is where I landed.
Yeah, I like that. And just remember that, when you're thinking ahead in your business, you can have a big vision, you can have a big goal, and maybe it's not all going to fit into this year, right? But you still can have that and carry it into 2027.
My gosh, where are
But,
you?
no, 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 but that's what I truly mean. I truly mean, like, it doesn't have to fit into your
Yeah,
goal or your growth for 2026. It can spill over into the years after, right? But
yeah,
as
yeah.
long as, because success isn't built overnight, okay? And it sometimes isn't built in the next 12 months either. So don't think of that as, oh my God, I can only fit into here what I can do in the next 12 months, because I'm giving you permission right now to set a big vision. Set a big goal, right? And there's a spot in the calendar, if you grab the planners from my website, to put things that you want to do but maybe not right now. So put
Hmm.
those in there, but still allow yourself to cast that vision, because I find that some people will hold back on their vision because they're like, there's no way I'm going to accomplish that in the next year, right?
Hmm.
You need to start
Yeah,
somewhere, because come
yeah.
the end of next year, you're going to be like saying, oh, well, I can't accomplish that in 1 year, right? But you can accomplish it in two. So just set your visions big for sure.
All right. Anything else? Teaser for next week?
Yeah, maybe the teaser. What do you wanna
Yeah.
Sure, you go
So,
for it.
all right. Okay. So we want you to print out those blank calendars because next week we're going to help you really plan out using your mission and your vision, plan out Q1. So we're going to look at holidays, themes, events. So get your calendar ready. Maybe look ahead at local events if you're doing local events. Start jotting down ideas. And then we're going to come together next week and do a Q1, map out your January, February, and March.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited. I love to have a plan.
Yep, and I find that when you put a plan in place, then that is when you'll see your business will start to grow. Because until I actually started working with the modern direct seller, I was not a planner. I couldn't set goals because I was never taught how to do it. I was just told how to do it, right? So until I was actually taught, it never really clicked. So that's what we're going to walk you through in next week's episode. So come ready if you can, sitting at somewhere comfy with your paper in hand and your planner in hand, and we're going to help you plan out your success in 2026. So, all right. I'm so excited that you guys joined us, and I look forward to seeing you in 2026. I hope you guys have the best New Year's ever, and we will see you again next week for a new year and a new episode of The Other 99%. Take care, everyone. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Other 99%. We just want to say thank you. It truly means the world to us that you're here. Lisa and I absolutely love creating these episodes for you, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to like, share with a friend, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We drop fresh content every Tuesday. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Leave us a comment. Want to be a guest on the show? We would love to chat with you. Apply by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks again for spending time with us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Other 99%.